Hello, today I'm going to be talking about Monday the 20th of November, which was Sean's class. So, um, in the morning, I decided to work on my performance research template. I changed one of the songs that I'm going to be doing for the ACs, um, simply because I was going for like the most popular, and I picked one that was fairly popular, but I was thinking, hmm, maybe not as much as I thought. So I changed Bark at the Moon to Mr. Crowley, as in my opinion, Mr. Crowley's a better song than Bark at the Moon. I sort of rushed my decision on picking that song anyway because I was just trying to get as much done during the half term as I physically could. But then I realized I might as well just change it for the hell of it. So I changed it and began working on that. Um, but then I realized I hadn't got tremolo picking worked down yet. So I did some research on that, like best ways to do it, that sort of thing. Um, as I said, I record all these on Sunday, and speaking on Sunday, I do have. I've found out a way to practice, and I'll actually show you. You won't be able to hear it because it's too early in the morning for me to play guitar. So really, it's just working up the strings. So I mean, it's just oh god, it's 'cause I haven't practiced this, so this didn't go well. So just ignore that entirely. But I'd be working up the strings in a semitone fashion, so and then I change it to sort of like triples and stuff. I have been using songs to practice this as well, which helps. There's a Metallica guitar solo in Fade to Black that uses tremolo and with a bend as well, which is really helpful. As well as there is a cover of While My Guitar Gently Weeps, which was performed at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Prince did an absolutely banging guitar solo for it. Um, and he uses tremolo picking in that, which helps me an absolute butt ton. So I'm getting there. Just need to, warm up and that sort of thing. So I need to on the performance day. I need to make sure I'm warmed up for that. But really, that was all that happened in the morning. Um, in the afternoon, um, me and James did some. We were discussing one of these compositions from the movie Oppenheimer, and so we decided to download a MIDI file and stick it on Logic and just mess around with it. So really, I didn't do much. The one thing I was noticed they were missing, it was this string part. It goes like do do, incredible vocals, but it does that, and yeah, it didn't. The MIDI file didn't come with that, so I had to program it myself. And this actually taught me how to use the pitch wheel on the keyboard. So on the keyboards we have these two little dial things on the side. One of them does something. I don't know what that one does, but the other one's marked pitch. You move it up, you move it down. It's sort of like bending the string, but for a keyboard. So actually, I properly learned how to do that now. Sorry, I think I've got toothpaste on my lip. Um, but I learned how to do that, and that is actually helpful just in case I do want to, when I'm programming guitar bits, I do want to add bends just in case. But learning how to use Logic slowly over time. Um, Tilly and Dan did their indie rock presentation. I'll be honest, I was left with more questions than answers. So they were talking about independent artists and then setting up their own labels. And I just sort of said, well, what makes a label independent? And they said, but they're not backed by a big label. But wouldn't that mean a big label's an independent? Like, I maybe personally, I might just not get it. Um, so I just sort of confused it. But they went through a few people. Alex G was the only one that I can remember. Overall, it's not a good. I don't really like the genre. I mean, it's not really my thing. But c'est la vie. So afterwards we did I wrote a composition on Logic and actually managed to get it done. So as I mentioned last time, I'm still on track to getting all the compositions done by the final week, hopefully. Emphasis on hopefully. Um, but yeah, overall, things are going all right. There's nothing really much to complain about. I'm doing it as best I can. Um, I'm getting through the college work in the best way that I can. I'm struggling a bit with the research template, but Sean says I can skip a decade. So originally I was going to go 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. Sean says I can skip the 90s, which is an absolute godsend. So I'm just going to do 70s, 80s, 2000s, leading into 210s ish. So I'm just going to get 3 decades done. I've gone into decent detail about it. I just need to get the performance, like actual them playing on stage part done, and then that's that. Um, we did discuss alchemy on Logic and using synths and stuff. I didn't use any synths in mine simply because I didn't want to. I went for more of just an acoustic. Mine was really simple, just acoustic guitar solo at the end. I asked Matthew to do the drums on it because I still can't program drums yet. I need to learn. And what do you call it? And a bass line. I program that in. I am getting better at using Logic. I have to say, because I knocked out that composition pretty much on my own. Whereas the other two, I was constantly asking James, how do I do this? How do I do that? I didn't use anything major like EQ or automation. I did use the pedal board, however. I learned how to use the pedal board. So that helped me. And I know how to get that up now. So really, that was everything that happened on Monday. So I shall speak to you tomorrow.